up? It's Wild Hog here. Gonna do some needed maintenance on the Roadglide. Gonna take the tour pack off, and then down below I'm gonna pull off the, let me get you closer here. Pull off the saddlebags, because these guys here, the side covers, the one on the other side is flopped in the front, and I've had trouble with the grommet before, so I bought 6 grommets, 3 for each side. I'm just gonna pull the bags, pull the tour pack, put new grommets in it, put a little grease on the ends of them, and I don't want to lose the cover. They probably won't come out because the saddlebag is holding it, but if it could happen, it'll happen to me. So I'm just gonna pull the thing apart real quick. It's pretty easy. I already loosened up it's got a lock on the tour pack, so I loosened that up already. So sometimes it's finicky, you know. So pop it off. Put him over here. Out of the way. And we'll pull the bags. You guys know how to do all this stuff, don't you? And if you don't, it's pretty easy. Let me move it over here. You got your screws. I took out the clips that fail. So I think it's a 1/2 inch. I put the backup nuts on the back side. So it's just a bunch of fiddly work. Get these off. Hey Fifi, what you thinking, bud? Of course, I put a fancy one in the back, like everybody's gonna see it or something. Acorn nut. Chrome. Yeah. Chrome. It won't get you home, but it'll get you something else sometimes, you know? So, pop these all. Should have emptied them, they're gonna be heavy. Full of tools and stuff. See, I put stuff like this off because I fear that it's gonna be time consuming and hard, and who wants to mess with it? Really, takes like a minute. I don't know why I procrastinate like I do. It's one of my features, I guess. Here, anybody else put pins and stuff in their cover strap? I don't know, I saw some guy do it, looked pretty cool. What else are you gonna do with your pins? There's one, Fifi. Good girl. Okay, look at that. I'll try not to scratch it against the other thing there. I need more junk in my garage, really. Anybody else not have a lot of junk in their garage? All right. I'm gonna shut you off maybe. Come back to you when I get a little closer to what I'm doing. Had to get me something to sit on. Bending overs for young people. I'm gonna pull the seat off because I got another little project under the seat. I'll show you what it is in just a minute, man. Piece of cake. Piece of cake. You're my helper. I love you, puppy. Get my little tray for my nuts. Yeah, tray for my nuts. There we go. Everybody needs a tray for their nuts. You wanna help? What are you gonna do? Puppy. Girl. If you haven't noticed, I'm missing a digit. That was in 2006 on my first Ducati 999. That bike hated me, dude. crashed it a couple times. First time I wrecked it was 15 minutes after I got it. I thought it'd be a good idea to ride in February. Well, I learned a lot that day. Motorcycles and ice don't mix. So what I got under here, but that wasn't when I lost my thumb. I lost my thumb in 2006, but I broke my collarbone in 2003, 15 minutes after I bought the motorcycle. So I'm not sure where it went. There it is. There it is. This used to be the antenna on the saddlebag. I shortened it because I shortened it on the bag, and because I didn't like riding around with a fishing pole sticking off the back of my bike. So then I just pulled the wire, put it up, slid it underneath the tank and the frame. Then one day it just kind of quit working, and I found where it rubbed through somewhere back here on the wire. I thought that was my problem, but I think the problem was it was coming loose right here and losing contact. Don't lick the motorcycle. So I'm gonna investigate this a little further. You know, do little things. So you can get these covers off. Oh yeah. Oh, that's nice. Well, there it is, Randy. Oh, that is the problem. Sweet. Yeah. Pops off. And this thing is, oh yeah, here's your problem. Can't get it out. It's ripped, it's wore out. Reminds me a lot of the old tank grommets on these things. Up in the front, they wear out, the tank rattles on metal to metal. That's good for it. And you see it. So, there you have it. Looky there, looky there. Grommet. Not a grommet. So, in the crash, we'll be replacing those. Here, let me grab the replacements. And, you know, new grommet. Part number 6 of them. 2, 3, 5. There's one more over there. So there's 3 in there. All right. Well, pretty self-explanatory. I have to work with my helper dog. All right. Ooh. Go fast parts. See that in there? Any of you guys have one of these in yours? Will it show up on there? No. Watch out, dog. Come on, work with me. Work smarter, not harder. Move. Go somewhere else. It's a fuel pack. Anybody got one of those on theirs? I don't know if it does anything or not. You poke on the buttons and you change the settings of it, and it's supposed to be better. I don't know. Didn't seem right when I got it. I called the place up, and Vance and Hines, I guess it is. Is that what it is? No. Fuel management. I guess it does something. Here, all I'm gonna do now is replace these grommets here. There's 1, 2, and 3. So I'm just gonna do that. Nothing exciting, man. Just gonna do it. I'll be right back. You ever put a work glove on? You find a shard of metal in the tip of the finger halfway through your little job. Boy, that'll put a little spring in your step. Man, that hurt. You never know, you know. These didn't look too bad over here, but I figured one's junk. They're only like $2 a piece or something. So if one's junk, just replace them all. I gotta keep it covered off anyway. That's a little lube put on it. I could say something about lube and rubbers, but I think it's okay without all that. Well, but any help. Do the hardest one first. Oh yeah. Look at that. Almost. There it is. Nope, it ain't. It's gonna be though. This is where I poke a hole in my lube. Another joke coming in there. There we go. Man, they were made to stay. I like that. Let me get a screwdriver. Oh yeah, right? You all see that? Let's start up here then. Yeah, baby. There, sweet. Oh yeah, look at the difference. We like you. It's gonna make my floor a little slippery, isn't it? Look at that. Nice. One more time. Oh yeah, about my thumb. That was in 2006. I was at a buddy's house watching Nicky Hayden when he won the MotoGP race here in America. I think it was at Laguna. And I was riding home from his house, Pete's house, and got impatient on the corner. Ain't waiting for these damn cars, I'm gonna pass them. Well, I didn't get as far past the car as I thought I was gonna. On a double yellow line with a car popping over the hill. And when that happened, I got a little too much on the front brake. Panicked, I guess. And then when I did that, I hit the yellow line. And when I hit the yellow line, the traction broke loose. And I went down. And when the bike went off, it was perfect, man. I went over the handlebars and landed on my back and kind of just stood up. And after that, some guy says, you need help picking that up. And I learned from experience when I crashed and broke my collarbone. I told some people, nah, I didn't know how I'd get it. Well, I didn't know my collarbone was broke. And it was hard to pick up. Didn't want to feel too good. So yeah, the guy helped me pick it up and I get on it. And I go to start it, my thumb is hanging down. It was still attached, but it broke, it was cut off because it got crushed between the clip-on and the frame. And it tore my thumb off. So I went to the hospital. I won't mention which one. They know who they are. Here in town. One of them here in town. Not the one I wanted to go to. So, get over there and I had to wait like 4 or 5 hours because there was a huge car crash where like 5 people came in, which is understandable. Let the moron with the motorcycle accident wait. Well, by then, they came to put Humpty Dumpty back together again, and it was summer. It was in July. So the real doctors are on vacation while the interns are working. Well, they couldn't get back on. They said they tried for like 2 hours. And $16,000 later, I had no thumb. Totally my fault. I mean, if I wasn't driving like a dumbass. So that's why these days, I know with age comes wisdom. But when I ride now, I pack my patience first. That's the first thing that goes in the bag, is patience. Because if you want to get somewhere fast, usually it's totally opposite. Oh look, a spider just ran by. I hope he goes up my pant leg. Yeah, so I was a mechanic at the time, and a damn good one. I was described as gifted because of my speed and accuracy. Well, that just shot that all to heck, because the simplest task, like working pliers and stuff, you just can't do without the thumb. It just doesn't grab. So you can hold it, but impact wrenches, like for wheels and hammers, things like that, you can't. So that was the end of that era of my life. So I think I tried to do it for a little while longer. It just wasn't fair to the dealership I worked at or myself, because if I banged the end of it, it hurt like a son of a gun. And I wasn't fast enough to make them money, so I just resigned, I guess. It's okay. It was time anyways. Well, I got the grommets on. I'll look at some things, make sure everything's tight under here, and then I'll come back and show you my next little deal I'm going to be doing. Well, I think I'm having technical difficulties with my little microphone that comes with my kit. I think every time I shut the camera off or pause it, it needs to be turned back on again to work. So we'll see what happens here. Well, I think I figured out my microphone problem, and I know it's going to fix it, because I had to read the instructions. I admit it. I'm a man, and I can change if I have to, I guess. And if you know who quotes that, we'll be good friends. And I'll give you a hint. Nah, you just have to figure it out. I know this is working good, and now I know why it wasn't working right. When I did my at the park video, when I was bitching about everything being too quiet and stuff, oh man, I'm on it now, man. You guys are in trouble. I'm gonna be a #1 YouTuber before you can say, what? Who's this guy? I'm gonna take this off, because when I thought my antenna back here went bad, remember I was telling you about the fishing pole that sticks off the back of motorcycles? I hate those things. So I run it with a solo seat a lot, and sometimes I don't put the backpack on it. So I relocate the antenna up inside here, and I thought the antenna messed up, but I think it was just loose. So what I did was I went and got a car antenna, took the fairing off, unplugged the other antenna wire, plugged the car antenna in, wrapped it, taped it, zip tied it inside of here. It ain't working. And I believe what happened, I think it needs to be grounded. The base needs to be grounded, because when you put it in the fender of the car, that's the ground. So I think what I'm going to do is take this back off. Yay. Oh, these are great. Don't you just love taking these fairings off of these things? It's the best. And then the headlight has to come out before you can put it back in, because you can't see the little hooks, the fairing hooks. And then the little vents in the gill sides over here where you got to do this with the, yeah. All the time while not pinching the wires for turn signals, because they dangle down. So you got to empty these out and put mechanics wire down through there and pull up on the wire to get it up while you put the light in. Oh, it's the worst thing to do. This and the rear tire is the worst thing to do on these motorcycles. I mean, I've rebuilt the transmission and the primary, and oh God, and it was easier than taking the front end off. So yeah, that's how I roll, man. So let me turn this off, do a little, get some tools ready, and then I'll start on doing this and show you some of my clumsiness on the front. I thought I'd show you one of my here. You get these. You guys are familiar with Harbor Freight, right? Oh man, $8, man. All the drills you can handle. Well, I was using it the other day to fix my mailbox that I'd put up, and then a week later, somebody ran it over, so I had to repair it again. So when I did that, I had to drill a hole because the screw, I had to relocate some screws. Well, when I was using my drill bit, I came up, you'll like this. Look at this invention. I know I'm squatting. Man, look at me, I'm all hot, sweaty. I came up with an invention. If you ever need to drill around a corner and you don't have a drill bit that'll drill around the corner, let me fix you up here. I made one. It was an accident, but look at that puppy. Now, if you want to, I'm going to patent this, and I think it'll be helpful in the future. So if you need to get a drill bit like this, you go to Harbor Freight and you buy the titanium bits, and you can make your own. I mean, I'm not going to get rich all by myself. I want to include some others. So you're welcome. And thank you, Harbor Freight. And T27s. Being careful not to scratch everything. Man, I'm glad I figured out this microphone thing. Problem is, my whole first part of my video is probably junk because I didn't have it hooked up right. Well, you live and learn, you know. There. My favorite. I already loosened up the turn signal on this side. I want to get some LEDs, but dang. Things like that are expensive, man. I know they're a safety thing at this point in time. I really think that that's like the biggest advancement they've made in automotive / motorcycle world in a long time is the lighting, because it's just and yes, all my screws match. I know a buddy, a man I met at kickstands last year, maybe. Professional Monkey, I'm sure you heard of him. He always likes to joke about having mismatched screws. Saw one of his videos that he said yes, and they don't all. But well, sometimes you're in a pinch and you gotta have a screw. That's the way it is, man. Cool. Let's just put this here, so I'll never find it again. When I go back together, I'll be cussing somebody because I stole my screw. Yep. It's one of the reasons I like to have a new bike, man. I mean, I love this bike to death, but sometimes it's just something else, you know. Couple washers. 1, 2. Come on down. There you go. What else we got? I believe. Here we go. unplug the light bulbs. Yeah, oops, good for the fender. And when you go back together, you got to take out this assembly here, poke these little things together, get them out because it hooks on the top. And I swear to God, if you don't, these hooks right here, if you don't get them on there, you're toast, man. So we'll put this over here. I had to send my puppy upstairs. She was getting a little in the way. What I want to do, two things. Yeah, I'll meet up in here. Yeah, here we go. It stayed. Anybody else have these lights fall out on there? Is my stuff just old and wore out? Let's see. All right, I like that. I might put that in my truck. Don't work on this. All right, I'm gonna have to shut you off because I don't want the YouTube gods to yell at me for having something with music or something. Just a second. Well, it works with the old antenna. So the old antenna is what we're going to use because I don't like having any more up in here flopping around than I have to. If you wonder why all this is all taped up, it's because I took my interfering out or off, the interfering in the console and all that, where I used to work at an automotive dealership, and a gentleman in the body shop painted it for me. Did all the doors, and it matches really nice, dude. And then radio I've sent out to Iron Cross Audio because it gave up the ghost right after I bought the bike. It's used, you know. So they repaired it for me and fixed it. Something happened right after that, and they took it back in and fixed it for nothing. I mean, it was the first time I had to pay, I was like $175 or something. But then they fixed it again for nothing. I was like, what? They were good place to work with. You need audio work. And then I replaced the stock speakers with Hog Tunes. Oh, Hog Tunes model 3572-AA. They sound way better in stock. I mean, it's not a boomer, you know what I mean, but it sounds way good. I put a Fat Boy front fender on it. I think it's off I think they said it was an 11 Fat Boy. And the gentleman, I don't know if he wants me to mention his name, where I used to work, painted that for me too. Let's get you down there. See what it looks like down there. It's a shorter, you know. Some people say ooh and gross, and other people think it's nice. I think it's nice, man. It's different, you know. See it down there. So yeah. So there you go. I'm moving you all around, getting seasick. So we're gonna prepare that thing for reassembly, and I'll probably turn you off because there'll be some colorful language, I'm sure. I hate doing this. And I'm just glad my radio is going to work because it sucks not having a radio. I mean, CD and Bluetooth plug-in thing. This thing's what I use for off my phone. Dude, just plugs into the cigarette lighter charge port or whatever, and you change the channels with this, and you can even charge your accessories with this. And you can, if you get a phone call, you push it and it answers the phone. Or if you want to skip a song, you just give it a twist. That's like $20 at Walmart, dude. Somewhere, I don't care if it's Walmart or not. But yeah, it's a good alternative to spending big bucks on some kind of system. Well, there you go. I'll talk to you in a minute. I'll probably have this back on by the time when you see me again. Cool. Well, everybody, the fairing gods must be smiling on me today. It slipped on like a hot knife going through butter. I've never had it go on so smooth. Maybe the 110th time's a charm. but I'm a smiling. That rocks, man. That was terrible. Sometimes you just have to get down and dirty with it, and then today it's just like, sure, not going to make me look bad on YouTube. It's a humid day today. You know, it's been raining a little bit here and there, but dude, it rained today, and the humidity is 99%. If I didn't know better, I think I lived in Daytona. Wow. Well, it's on there except for the, wish I had a big old LED system there. If there's anybody out there that wants to throw one my way for a test video, do it. I could use it. If you hear this noise, it's my fan over here. It's getting kind of serious down here. So that's that. I'll get the side lights on and the front lights on, and check my radio every time I put something on to make sure it's not rubbing a wire or something, because it's really odd that poof, it works. I don't know. Maybe it just likes rainy days. Alrighty, I'll be back in a minute. Well, I got these on. Not tight, but on. They're not tight because I couldn't find my wrench. Little swivelly zip, ratchet wrench. Looked all over the shop. Remember I was complaining? I put those screws over there and said, I'm going to forget where I put them. Well, it wasn't with the nuts, or the nuts. So I'm looking all around, man. I've been around this shop, looking under pillows and looking under the bike. I thought maybe I left it in here, which was making me, then I would have known why it went on so easy, because I left it inside. But I didn't. And I've been looking around. You ever put a wrench in your back pocket? I never do, because when you're working as a mechanic, as a professional, you don't want screwdrivers and things in your pocket, because you get in the customer's car and zip goes the seat, right? Learned that early on. Never put a wrench in my pocket. Today I did. And boy. Anyway. It's in there. We're getting close to being done here. Usually we don't do these from the top, because the wrench end hits things. But there we go. Got to straighten them up, and make sure they're even and all that. Well, it ain't so bad. We're together. Lights are in. Those guys are about even, I'd say. All right. A while back, a couple years ago, probably been 5 by now or more, I painted my calipers red. And then Harley Davidson must have seen that and decided they were going to paint some of their calipers red. Hey, it's okay. I'll let them. See, I did my back one too. It's caliper paint. Just something you have sitting around. You decide to use it. Wiped off my wheel. I'll give a finger in the way. Wiped off my wheel. It's kind of useless wiping off that wheel. But yeah. So I got my grommets in. Got my antenna rigged back up again. Got my friend. Oh, here's what I was telling you about. The interfering. Yeah, buddy of mine did that. give you a hint, his name's Ron. I don't even know if he still paints. He was having some issues with his feet, I think, or something. So kind of hard to paint if you can't stand on your feet. But yeah. And then there's that fender, you know, like the Fat Boy. I just thought it looked cool. Painted my coil red. This air filter was on it when I got it. I would never buy that air filter. It's not very tour friendly. And I got the red plug wires. Yeah, man, we're in. Just put those boxes back on it. Put the 75 pounds of plastic back on the back with tools and all. And yeah, when I did put the headlights in, when I plugged the headlights up and snapped them in, it seemed like it made a difference in the quality of the reception for the radio. So who knows? But it works, and I'm gonna run with it. Alrighty. So there's one other thing I meant to show you. I did one of these where you do the blow by, you know, because it goes through here and it sucks it into your intake, and all that gets black, and you're burning oil and that you don't want to be burning. So what I did was I drilled and tapped both sides of that, and then ran a hose here and up and over and around, and you can see it, it's like right here, and it runs down the back of that, and it comes out that filter. So that's my air breather, crank breather bypass thing, whatever you want to call it. Kind of out of the way. I didn't do it today. I did that a few years, and it's working, man. All you do is once in a while you got to clean that filter. But yeah, just another thing I did to it. I don't remember. I've done so much. I got the flat low down brake pedal lever, and remember my grips. Oh, my grips. The solo seat. Oh, them shocks. Stock ones were leaking air, and they rode like a buckboard. And I put a slanted tail lamp cover on it. Relocated my license plate to below that. Chopped off this ring that goes around the back here. Put those rear crash bars on. Some people don't really like them, but I've not crashed it, but laid it down in some gravel before, and it's a saver. All right, well, I want to show you that stuff, that's all. I'm going to show you guys and gals how I hold my bags on. These used to be those, I don't know what to call it. That clip that turns. I think it starts with a Z. And so what I did was I got rid of those. Let's get over here without knocking something over. All right. And you can see where I put like I don't know, spring nut or whatever you call those things. I replaced the part that goes in there with the clippy on it. And I run the bolt through, and then I nut it on the back. I let the bolts stick through. I cut them off, but I let them stick through enough to put a backup nut on it so they won't unscrew. Let's see here. Let's see. Yeah, you can see it under there. See it right there? I made that one pretty because you might be able to see it from the back. So, you know, I'm a real perfectionist. But yeah, I haven't even had one of those loosen up. So yeah, it's cool, works out. Oh yeah, some of my, yeah, got a lot of. There you go, I'm done. Going upstairs and getting a water or something. It's hot.